Fuck. All right, we're rolling.
Planet B
Presents
Cult and Culture Podcast.
Welcome to episode 53
of the Cult and Culture Podcast. I'm Luke Hinshaw.
I'm Justin Pearson. This episode features Connor Musarra, who is, I don't even know how to explain him.
It's pretty weird, dude.
Yeah.
Can I talk my shit? Okay. I grew up in the algorithm. I really seen some shit I've been on. Black Mirror, Stockholm Syndrome. What do you do when everything has been done? Oh, goddamn. History written in Comic Sans. American dream in your right hand. Chopping a pill on a nightstand. Oh, goddamn. Big fish swimming on dry land. Keeping me warm in the winter by burning a book by Ayn Rand. This man been online just fishing for hot takes that is not based. Oh, you an alpha male, then why you dressing like a high school prom date, bitch? Touch grass, etc. Switch your life for a better one. Covering up your online life like a fucking U.S. senator. Oh, goddamn. That's an anime profile pic. Repeating the same shit, never going off script. I seen the threats and I'm still gonna talk shit like, oh, goddamn. Somebody come get him, looking like Malcolm in the middle. I pull up in the multicolored chains like Skittles. Price going up, double or triple. Churning out hits at the cribble. Travel so much I don't dribble. That dog in me like I eat kibble. How does he make it look simple? Cause after all these years, I'm still going in like a dimple. Oh, goddamn. I grew up in the algorithm. I really seen some shit I've been on. Black Mirror, Stockholm Syndrome. What do you do when everything has been done? Oh, goddamn. Staring at my fucking phone like, oh, goddamn. Screen staring back at me like.
He kind of came on my radar with this prank that he pulled with Tesla on Twitter, or X as the douche calls it. The douche as in the owner of Twitter. Anyhow, he came down to San Diego to be on our podcast. It's pretty insane. I'm still like trying to wrap my head around him as a. We kind of get into it. An artist. Yeah. Is what we agreed on. Like, he's a musician too, but also just like such a bizarre performer or something, producer, all that kind of shit. But we were psyched to have him come down here and be on the podcast. He's definitely like, out of our normal lane, which is awesome, and we're always welcoming that, especially considering like where we've been going with some of our guests lately. So, yeah, we're psyched that he's been on, that he was on this, and the stuff we got into was insanely interesting and kind of not what I was expecting. It gets a little political and stuff, which is rad. So anyhow, we hope you enjoy this podcast. This episode is sponsored by all of our regular sponsors, one of them which is Kindred, who just opened a new spot in San Diego called Dreamboat right here, as you can see on this bag. If you're in San Diego on tour or on vacation, if you live here and you're listening to this or watching this, you got to check it out. Kindred, which also owns Mothership. And then now Dreamboat's the new spot, which is also part of a speakeasy called Vulture.
4608 Park Avenue.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
That's good. I hope that's right. Yeah.
No, it is.
Cool. But we got this, what is this sandwich? It's yerba.
I don't know, but I bet it's fucking good.
It looks insane.
Ooh.
Yeah, here. It's like yerba something, but Corey, the owner, kind of said it was modeled somewhat after Superiority Burger. If you know what's up with that in New York, then you know what's up. Anyhow, enjoy this podcast, enjoy this food, and we'll see you on the other side.
It's great.
I'm Connor Musarra. I'm an artist, producer, / internet crazy person. Like the internet has bled into my artistry and back and forth a lot.
Right.
In the way, like, it has informed my process and vice versa.
It's fucked up everyone's shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I guess I've like, a lot of my process has been, or over the past several years has been like born out of like social media first as like the setting for it. Like I did, it kind of started with I did a song a day, or I posted a song every single day for an entire year, like with a video, produced, wrote.
Like,
shot,
did you
edited.
wake up and start the song, or did you already have some shit lined up?
It was, I was doing them on the spot every single
Yeah.
day, and it was like I was mostly looking at it as sort of like an extended piece of performance art, where like the torture of it was kind of the point, where like it was driving me insane. But
did you skip any days?
no.
Fuck, that's
Every
great.
single
Yeah.
day. And a lot of them, I mean, most of them are really short.
Yeah.
They're like super short.
Yeah.
They're mostly like song ideas, but it was an original song idea every single day, produced, written, filmed by me. And anyway, so that snowballed into just being a content creator where I'm not I'm an artist and I'm a producer. I want to make music and stuff, but just the reality of, you know, the world is social media is a part of that. So I was trying to come at it with the intention of like, okay, maybe this could be an interesting thing of doing an extreme with it as like part of the artistry almost. Like that's sort of been my mindset, as opposed to just like, hey, here's a song I made and it's online. Like,
also,
anyway.
it sounds like I always cringe because I don't know how to like read music. I'm not really I'm not like a good musician or trained or whatever. So I default to like I'm an artist because it's kind of just like, are those notes right? Probably not, but it sounds fucking cool. So like, but you're taking it to like another level where you're like, I'm an artist because you're like inherently forced, I guess, to like have the 365 day video. Like that's kind of like, that's art, not necessarily like music, even though you're creating music.
I totally agree. And it's a weird back and forth too, because a lot of my musical decisions were affected by even just the simple. So I play a bunch of instruments. I've always played a bunch of instruments, but I mostly, like, the main reason I was using instruments so much in this series was just because it looks cooler on camera. Like, my process isn't necessarily like me playing every instrument all the time, but I know visually that's like more exciting for people. Like, oh, this guy's playing a bunch of shit.
Yeah, like there was one where you were playing you're playing like there's like a song and you're playing the drum beat and it's like a trap beat or whatever. It's like, so it's like, and like I was like, wait, is he playing that on a snare? And you weren't, but you produced it and then you just filmed yourself playing it. Like
that one was probably, it might have been both. Like I might have been like, if I'm filming myself
like it was
playing,
it was a sequenced drum beat. Like it was like it was a synthetic drum beat. It wasn't like you were real snare, but you were playing it like.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was probably layered or something, because the only time I'm showing, like, if you're seeing me play something on camera, like, there is audio of me playing it for sure.
Cool. Whoa.
In there. And I was also very, just in the philosophy of it, every single, like, if you saw me on camera playing, it was the one take of me playing it, and that was the take. It wasn't like, it was like, if I was fucking up, that was the take. Okay. It was like, if you're seeing me play, like, I'm actually, the take that you're seeing is the one that you're hearing also, which I know is like such, like, I totally did not need to be that specific, but to me, the philosophy of the song a day shit was the performance art aspect of it, of like, you're seeing me, whatever flaws are happening that day or whatever the fuck, my hair's fucked up that day or whatever it is, that's what it is. That's the day. That was like what I was on that day.
Do you do it like you say, like you see like, hey, this is working, now I'm gonna go in the studio and do that? Or is it something that you start working on and then you kind of notice it's working on and like keep at that?
Well, it's evolved. I mean, that process was definitely the most extreme, where it's just like, as soon as the idea exists in my head, it has to come out. And and I know that there is no time or really reason to be too discerning with it. Obviously, you want it to be as good as possible. You don't want to make bullshit. But that process was me just like moving as fast as I possibly can. But in general, otherwise, I'm definitely like I really like to move fast so I don't have the opportunity to overthink.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely, I do like going and doing a bunch of iterations of things
Yeah.
for sure.
But like when you
Yeah.
say, when you're like, if it's working, you mean like
Yeah.
working like this is working
Like
for
for
me.
the internet.
Yeah.
Oh
that's
yeah,
what I-
yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I got off on a tangent.
No, because
yeah.
that was like
Yeah.
a total existentialist question. Because I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, what is it working for? Yeah.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
dive into doom.
Because
Yeah.
people like, well, also like you kind of talked about it a little bit, where you're like, this is what is like gonna be marketable, opposed to like this is what I really like or whatever. Because
Right.
we're fucked, you know. Like the shit we make is not marketable, and so we're just like, ugh, you know. But like occasionally in the back of my head, or I have like other artist friends that are like, this is how you write the song, and this is what's gonna be like the selling point. I'm like, fuck that, you know.
Yeah.
But like, so I don't want to derail this, but like your like
Yeah.
stuff, like I like it, and it sounds like you know what the fuck you're doing, obviously, but like it seems like it's a parody of something, or like it seems like you're talking shit all the time.
Sometimes. Yeah, it's a gray area. I mean, I'm definitely in a space of, I am very often making very like poppy music. But
everyone's so
It's like-
serious in the regular world, where you're just
Yeah.
like fucking around and like
yeah,
seems
exactly.
like
And some of it is me fucking around, and some of it is me responding to things that have worked prior. And I'm like, even if it's as simple as, oh, like people liked a couple weeks ago when I did something that was like me just like playing guitar and singing, maybe I'll just do another thing like that. And it's usually more of taking an inspiration of like the palette that I was using prior that maybe worked,
Right.
and more than like the literal like trying to recreate it. Just because that's not, I'm not even it's not even in like a holier than thou way of like purity. It's just like not exciting to me if I'm doing the same shit.
yeah.
Which is the gift and the curse of doing whatever I want all the time. Is like the tone is very like there, it can be very inconsistent in the way that people are perceiving it, because sometimes I am doing almost like meme songs, and they're
Yeah.
and they are purposefully like I am just fucking around,
Yeah.
and it's supposed to be like, sometimes it's supposed to be funny, sometimes it's very serious.
Yeah.
Sometimes, so it's kind of
Like even the one
Yeah.
that you did about like, what was it, like some kind of like Thanksgiving dinner thing about Palestinian like it was
oh,
like,
I can't
but it was
remember.
like,
There was,
but it was like a very serious thing where you're like, I'm pro-Palestine, but like I'm gonna fuck with you and make a joke about like your family being fucking bigots or what, something like. I'm paraphrasing. You know what
I
I'm saying?
can't even
Like,
remember,
yeah,
but I
okay,
probably
okay,
yeah.
okay.
There was there was fuck. I wish I could remember.
Like it was righteous
like-
in the sense that like you had a cool message, but you also were just
Yeah.
like taking a jab at like everyone's fucking stupid racist family or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
And I was like,
yeah.
oh, that shit's cool. Like that resonates.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is just coming from my just way of communication in general. Is like I would rather, like, I'm definitely just a person who's constantly making fun of how fucked up the world is, and obviously it's like extremely upsetting to me every single day.
Yeah.
But the way that I make sense of it is like the absurdity of it.
Yeah.
So it's almost like the catharsis of me being like making a joke of how fucked up it is.
Also, humor
Yeah.
is like the one thing that's gonna help. I think humor is the one thing that can break through to like your opposition.
Yeah.
Also, like humor is something that we all need to kind of keep us with a little bit of energy to function. You know, like I
Totally.
want to like laugh for a second, and then I can be pissed that the other fucking.
Yeah, exactly. And I think one thing that people often misunderstand about anything that I do that is political, whatever, or like, or the Elon song
Yeah.
or stuff like that.
Wait, okay,
Or-
we have to
yeah.
talk about that because I don't even know what that is. So keep going. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so or I guess backing up, like one of the biggest like things that I did was impersonate Tesla on
Yeah,
Twitter.
that- yeah.
So
Let's unpack
yeah.
that because that's some
Yeah.
shit. Because I fucking hate Elon. But there's a
Yeah.
song that goes with it.
Yeah, so I did a song.
Fuck 'em. Bitch. Elon Musk, this shit blew up like a motherfucking Tesla. Cybertruck on fire like my motherfucking temper. I am just a stat in a programmer stand up. Refresh the app, bitch, smile for the camera.
Or I'll back up. Let me
Okay.
give the context. So it was when Elon did he made it so that you could just buy the verified blue check.
Yeah.
But he didn't actually introduce a system to like make sure that you were the person you said you were. So I just went and made an account that looked identical to the official Tesla account, and then I paid $8 to
Yeah.
make it look like it was the verified Tesla account.
Wow.
And then I just started tweeting at crazy shit as Tesla
Yeah.
for 8 hours.
It's fucking
That was
great.
the craziest day of my life. It was all over the news, everything. It's quoted in the official Elon biography by Walter Isaacson. Now
Whoa.
these stupid tweets are quoted in there. It
Like
was-
saying like someone was making fun of him in the biography or how,
yeah, they were talking about that basically how much of a mess the his Twitter takeover was, and like they brought up the different like parody accounts that came up, so they talked
Wow.
about the Tesla one that
Yeah.
did. So I gotta buy that book. Like fuck Elon, but I probably should have that book just because it's funny.
Just for
but-
archival purposes.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway,
Wait, you should make merch with like one of the things on it or something.
Yes, I did. Wait,
and then
I don't know
and
if
then
I
get
released
sued
it.
and then do a PR campaign.
Yeah,
on that.
exactly. Yeah. I actually already had like months prior. So that was just like a split second random decision. But months prior, I just had a song called "Elon Musk Can Go Fuck Himself" just because.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I hate
should
Elon,
exist,
and
yeah.
it was just funny to me, and I was like, why would I release that?
Yeah.
But then me doing the Twitter thing,
Right.
then I was like, oh well, I have this song, I should just put it out.
Well, like so
But-
after all that happened, you were like, I'm
yeah, I
gonna
was
just
like,
do
oh,
this.
this is
Loaded,
crazy.
ready to
Yeah,
go.
like I'm on. Yeah, they're talking about me on CNN and stuff. I'm like, okay.
Also, it reached CNN. I saw that what you said where it went. Like it's very impressive, but CNN as well. That's crazy.
It was like Jake Tapper.
I'm sure Fox picked it up. Like that's probably if you got Fox.
They talked
yeah,
about it.
yeah.
They didn't. I think they probably should. I don't even know
Yeah.
how many. Yeah, but and John Oliver was like reading the tweets on
John
the show,
Oliver.
so-
He's like the fucking pope of like everything cool. That's
Yeah.
so rad.
So, yeah, and I got interviewed by Newsweek and Business Insider and stuff.
Did you get in
It was
trouble? Or like did someone?
no. Well, I was actually. So I did it. I was very careful to be anonymous, and I did it with like a burner email, burner account, everything. And then when the account got banned, that night I was like, okay, well, I probably should say it was me,
Yeah.
just so no one else takes credit.
Oh shit.
And then I made a TikTok video that night,
Yeah.
just like explaining what happened, and then that separately like did crazy numbers and all that. And then so as soon as I said it was me, then it was like all these news outlets, boom, 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 boom,
They're all hitting
me
you
up.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you get a lawyer?
no, because I actually didn't. Nothing happened. I
Yeah.
was surprised. I think there were a bunch of other fake accounts that were made, and I think the only one that had anything actually happen to him was the one that did the Eli Lilly account. He said that, or it was like a fake Eli Lilly account, and he was like, insulin's free or whatever. It was like, and then that like caused their stock to crash.
Wow.
My Tesla stuff did cause their stock to fuck up. So
That's great.
pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy to like affect the market like that.
Just like
accidentally,
in a one-day joke.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like, or going back like,
For $8.
yeah, exactly, for $8. I think a lot of people's like, obviously I am a very political person. Like I am very outspoken politically, but I think one thing that people often misunderstand about my inclusion of politics in my art is it's not coming from like, I don't have any interest in like being preachy about it at all.
yeah.
Like I'm kind of, I don't know, maybe I'm a little cynical about that. It's more just like, that's what I'm thinking about, and it's fun to me. It's funny to me. I'm more trying to be funny. This is what I think is funny.
Yeah.
Like the Tesla thing was just funny to me.
Yeah.
I didn't even. I made that thinking like, okay, maybe a couple of my friends will like repost this. I didn't really, I didn't know it was gonna be fucking like on the news and shit. So, but like some people kind of project this idea that I'm like trying to be like an activist with it or something. It's like I'm just a guy online.
You're like
not.
music political, like it's not like, I wouldn't even say it's 50-50. I would say like more musical than like the political. So like that's weird that people would grab that angle. I mean, I guess people are just lame and they pick whatever.
I think it's culturally just a thing where now the association of like being outwardly political is like someone who is expressing political opinions online is like already they're calling themselves an activist, whether or not they're actually doing anything other than talking online. So I think it's partially, it's a mixture of that like conflation of, or I guess almost like the bastardization of the word activist almost, or like the associations of like people thinking that like posting a angry tweet about a politician is like activism. And that's not even like, I mean, I am like equally as politically ineffective as them, but
what, ineffective?
I mean, it's like,
but also, okay, I think when you're like, you know, I'm mad and politics, this, that, and like your audience is like limited, but like I would say like your prank, and this is not like a diss on you at all, because I think that fucking Tesla thing is genius, but like you did like some bullshit for a day and it like went fucking crazy and was like serious activism. Like you fucked up
true,
like Tesla stock.
That's
like anyone
true.
can rant about like, you know, Elon Musk Kyling on TV, like whatever, but like you just went and like fucked that shit up, you know, like probably
I guess that's true. Yeah.
So you like used humor and like you weren't just like I hate Elon, because like who cares, like
it doesn't
like
how many of us do. It's like
I don't want to see someone just like bitching about it. I want to see like your shit where I'm like, dude, that's fucking wild. So you are an activist, but whatever, that's just weird. It's weird to like look at it, because I think like you know a lot of people like, I mean, I guess, you know, John Oliver's a good example too. Like he's hilarious and he's like constantly weaving in his like shit talking like jabs with like real legit news, you know, and like a lot of heavy depressing stuff. So like I think that like makes it more digestible, at least for me, you know.
Yeah. And well, I guess going back to that, there were a lot of people who love Elon who thought that it was funny too.
Oh, good.
So like
that's
even
crazy too. Like
and then when they really what made them alter, I feel like mostly pretty much everyone loved it. Yeah. Like including people who love Elon. But when I put out the song that said Elon Musk can go fuck himself, that was when they were like, oh, okay, fuck this guy. And I think also them realizing like, oh wait, like this guy's able to like, this guy's using this. And I was using it. It's like, why wouldn't I? Yeah. But anyway, it's just a weird thing. Like I think I would be interested to hear your thoughts on this too. Is like the political like usage of, or the political like utility of art being like so neutered that like I'm almost like, I kind of think I'm like, okay, if like fucking Rage Against the Machine didn't like cause a revolution or something, like there's not really gonna be anybody who's gonna, you know, it's like, it's for me, political or politics in art is mostly like for the catharsis of us, like between, and that's kind of how I think about it. Is like we should include our political opinions in our art mostly because it's like a shared experience, as opposed to like I mean, maybe this is too cynical, but I'm just like, how, okay, me making a song is that like that's great, and maybe that feels good for people who agree with me, or maybe I changed a couple of people's minds, but I'm kind of like, this is for catharsis more than like actual activism than anything.
So you're just like, I'm doing this for myself. If you like it, great. If you don't, fuck you, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess when you
because
put
you
it
already
like that,
made
it's
it like before
yeah.
the whole thing. You were just, and you didn't even like put it out. You're just like, whatever, you know.
Yeah, just in general, like that's.
But I wonder about like you bring up like rage. It's a good example because I think they're like overtly political. So when you go into like your personal engagement with a Rage Against the Machine album or show or whatever, you're just like, this is gonna be a political rant, you know. Or like with you, you're just like, whoa, there's like a politic thrown in there. And it's funny, and you're like, oh, I can kind of like take it or leave it. And but at least you like, I think you have like this space to ingest it a little bit more. Like I think
that's a good point.
I think there's like little. Like Luke had this thing where like the story where you were at the gym and you had this crazy shirt. Like, can you tell the story? Like,
well, I mean, I have a bunch of anti-God, God-free shirts, and a lot of the people at the gym are very don't like it, and they just want me to take it off and beat me up or like pound me. So
wow.
I know their routines and I know their times, so I have more than just one shirt. So I'm like, oh, his leg day is going to be Wednesday. So then on Wednesday I showed up with a fucking another one, and he just, his blood was just.
But the one where it was like, he said something, and you're like, I don't speak English, and you said it in English, and I was like, dude, that's like,
wow.
What is?
But because I mean, a lot of them are Mexican, and I just said that, I don't speak English.
But it said like, what did it say? There's like no brown people in the Bible or something.
Yeah,
and he was
no
like,
white people in the Bible.
Oh, that's what I meant. Yeah. And he was,
that goes hard.
But he like came up and was like in your face.
Yeah.
And you're just like, in English, I don't speak English, and you just like leave it because I think like that.
That one was at the bar.
At the bar. Okay, sorry, bar, gym,
same thing. Yeah.
But like the little like. It's just like the delivery, and you're just like, there it is. Like I don't need to like go off about like why we have Che Guevara in all of our T-shirts, or like whatever, like wear a hat that says like communist. Like I'm referring to like the rage antics.
Yeah, totally.
It's a little much. You're like, just maybe tone it down, because I don't know. Like I've known a lot of fucking dickheads that liked rage, and I'm like, dude, you even know what the fuck that's about? Like there's a lot of like really serious leftist politics, and you're a fucking asshole Reaganomics dude or whatever, so it doesn't like make a lot of sense. Where I think like you could just be I think political stuff is relevant, but like maybe be a little bit, I don't want to, because to each their own, because there are like super like like bands like Los Crudos or something who's just like that's all political, and like that's huge. It makes sense, but I don't know, whatever, everyone can do their own thing. I just think that like the witty like highbrow like shit talking stuff is gonna infiltrate more.
That's a good point. I guess that is sort of my approach, is to have it be thrown in as casual a way as I would in a conversation, without preaching.
Well, also like in all your music, it's like, I don't know what kind of, like, I hate like terms or genres or whatever, but it's like like it's like pop, and you're just kind of like singing, and it's just like here's the thing, and you just kind of move on. It's not like a hardcore band where you're like, all right, here's 2 minutes of just someone fucking being pissed.
Right.
So I think it like, because also like you can kind of get under the radar and like sneak it in there, and like maybe someone will be like, oh, what the fuck did he say? And then going back to like the Tesla thing too, though, it's like you have this online persona, and people are seeing this thing that's funny, and then they're like, oh wait, maybe like Elon is a piece of shit, and then I don't know. I mean, we can only hope that like the American population computed that, but
I guess it is sort of it is the type of thing where I'm trying to contribute to like introducing that as like a pop culture thing, that it's okay, it's cool to say fuck Elon, like, or I don't know. Like, not that I would be the arbiter of what's cool, but like if there's a bunch of other people doing it, and then, or if someone who is neutral is just like, they've heard a couple things that are negative on Elon, and then they come across my song where I'm saying Elon Musk can go fuck himself. Like maybe that does like 1% make them be like, wait, but why would you so passionately be like not liking Elon? And then I don't know. Who knows?
Pick
Who
a
knows?
lane, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just talking shit. I'm just doing my thing. Like, there's times when I will toe the line a little more and maybe even question myself, like, am I being too much of a pussy of like not saying enough politically or like
Going
whatever.
further.
Yeah.
Because you have the platform.
Yeah, and it's tough. Just the reality of, I'm not like mega famous or anything, but like I have a lot of followers online. And it's like anytime I express basically any political opinion, people are mad.
Yeah.
So,
but I wonder what the percentage of mad and psyched is.
yeah, it's
Because the mad ones are
Yeah.
going to always be more vocal. You're going to be like,
Yeah,
there's the 6
exactly.
people that are mad, and then there's like 6,000 that are like, this is so sick.
yeah.
But they're going to be like I'm not like, this is so sick. I'm just like, that's sick. And I'm going to move on. But if you're
Right.
mad, you're like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm sure you get all kinds of the whole thing. you know?
Yeah, crazy all the time. Well, I feel like the first time that I ever, like, I feel like for the most part, I basically didn't have many reservations of sharing my political views online until fucking October 7th. And like, as soon as it was like fucking everybody dogpiling on anyone who's pro-Palestine, and I was like, oh shit, okay, wait, like then I'm like, oh wait, am I a pussy for not like I don't know, it's this weird, I get into this conflict. I'm like, okay, well, there are people who are legitimately like completely being deplatformed. I'm like, what is my line of like, yeah, of course, like this is my genuine political opinion, but like where's the line of like what I share or don't share, and like
Where's
what
the
is-
line as far as like you don't want to get banned, or where's the line as like you want to be vocal and maybe, I don't know,
Yeah.
offend people or lose followers or something?
It's more the, I mean, because I did lose I lost thousands of followers as soon as I expressed.
Wow.
But
But
I mean,
you
it's funny-
but I mean you gain them
yeah.
though too. Like it goes both ways. Like
Sort of. At that time, I was definitely, I lost a fuck ton of followers. But it's also funny because
but
had
also do you
been-
want to produce shit for Zionists? You
No,
know?
exactly.
Yeah,
Well, exactly,
yeah. It's like
exactly.
fuck
It's
them, get
not-
them out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny too because it's not like I had expressed support for Palestine online forever,
Yeah.
but now I just have a lot of followers. So it's like people,
And the
Realizing-
followers are like the whole spectrum of
yeah, whatever.
whatever,
Anyway,
yeah.
yeah. And I think it was but I was less worried about, because I knew going in, okay, there's going to be a bunch of Zionists who unfollow me, like whatever, that's what it is. But seeing the actual like real life repercussions that people were like getting your shit banned, which is like ultimately whatever, you're going to be fine. But
what'd you get
Like,
banned?
or no, I'm seeing
Oh, like other people,
like,
yeah,
other
yeah,
people getting
yeah,
banned,
yeah.
like so many people getting banned, like or like people being like in real life, like having like whatever, losing jobs,
Yeah.
losing opportunity, like
Yeah.
stuff like that people kind of act like isn't happening.
Yeah.
But
You mean for like speaking out?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and or even like the fucking the actor girl from Scream who like posted one story that was like a fundraiser for Gaza children. Like she was kicked out of the franchise and like called an anti-Semite. Like the extremes of that definitely, like it's hard for me, like as a person who, you know, maybe this is vain, but just like the idea of, you know, I want to continue to have a career in the entertainment industry, and I see stuff like that and I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah.
what
If I do that.
yeah, where's the line here where like real life repercussions are, like which real life repercussions are worth it, and how effective it is even speaking out, even like, not that you shouldn't, I know you should, but it's just like I get into these like cycles of
Yeah.
of like, oh shit, like there are real stakes for what shouldn't really be that
no shit.
crazy at all to say.
Yeah.
So,
But I feel like you could reference like maybe like The Daily Show or something with Jon Stewart, you know, where like that isn't a sphere where they're hilarious, constantly talking shit, you know, and like which seems like on brand with your stuff too, you know, like you just need to get hired by them, you know, like
right,
and then you're good. Then you can be like, I'm gonna do this all day long, you know, and that's
exactly.
great. But right now you're kind of like in the Wild West where you're like, oh, anyone can fuck me up and like kick me off or ban me or come at me or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not. I don't know. I try not to think. I also think it's like coming a little bit from a sense of like maybe hubris or just like fear that is not totally founded, but it's just hard to. I don't know. It's just hard because seeing so many people see repercussions in the industry, I'm like, oh fuck, like
they're sending a message, and like that sucks.
And I think even sometimes I think about people that I work with, like if they would have repercussions for me having a political stance publicly, like that shit I worry about sometimes too. Like even like I have this pop group I was saying I'm developing, like that would be like very pop radio music. This would be like music that would be kind of, it would need the machine behind it, and that machine would very much not like to have someone publicly being like, oh, America is committing a genocide. Like,
but I wonder if the machine at some point or sections or segments of the machine is going to be like, no, we do want that.
Right.
You know, like, because there are these like corporate entities that have real morals and ethics that we can align with, but it's the ones that are like, I mean, we were looking at Meta, you know, I mean, fuck that shit, you know, whatever. Or like, but you know how like the backlash to like Twitter was like blue sky and like, you can do whatever the fuck you want there. And they seem like I listened to an interview with the CEO of Blue Sky, and it seems like, okay, this is like really seems like something rad and healthy for, you know, humans to communicate with. But I see what you're saying. Like, do you want to like stay and work with the system that's rotten, or like maybe abandon it and hope to align with like, maybe my analogies aren't that great, but like the sort of like Daily Show people, you know, you're like, there it is, like that system is good, you know. Even like talking about John Oliver, like how he's constantly shitting on HBO, and it's like he's on HBO just shitting on them, like that's also like something that I'm like, what is that? That's great, you know. Like I don't know, there's a lot to it.
But I mean, ultimately it's just, I think a part of being an artist is just that willingness to receive whatever the fuck is coming at you, and that's just like what it is, and you move on.
Because well, it's weird because when you're an artist and you decide to take the stand that can ultimately you know, cripple or bankrupt your career, there's two sides to that, because sometimes it can come back tenfold where you're just like, you were the righteous one, like boom, here you are, and like everyone's like so psyched on that shit. It's weird to figure out like what I think. If you're doing it from your heart and you're sticking to it, and you're like, at some point it has to come around, you know. I mean, it really does. A lot of the artists that I think took a stance and got shit on, it came out the other side like just so rad. Totally. But it is scary to throw that all away. Yeah, and I think that is, I mean, depends on your artistry, but that's like, it should be a part of it, of that willingness, I guess. But then I'm always like second guessing myself still. But at least you're thinking about it, because I think some people don't even get to that point where they're like having this internal dialogue, like what am I doing? Am I being, you know, just or whatever? Like some people probably don't even get to that point. They're just like, ugh, and then they just like take the easy route or whatever. So I don't know. I appreciate that in itself, just the fact that you're contemplating this seemingly massive thing, you know, like the subject of, or the idea of it all is pretty crazy. But what about like, because I think no, go ahead.
You still want to be an artist and don't want to get a day job.
Exactly.
And also that can go pretty far too.
Be cautious of what you say.
It's and also like, frankly, the reality of my like bread and butter behind the scenes, like producing for people, a lot of that is like, like if I do music for TV or ads or whatever, that's gonna be it a lot of times will end up in places that I don't politically agree with because I don't have control of that because it's universal music.
yeah.
It's like, so it's like the no ethical consumption. It's like we're all just okay. We're here.
Yeah.
Like if you're making money from somewhere in this industry, like it's trickling down from somewhere fucked up.
That's so funny. We had the same exact thing with Nick Reinhardt. He was like in Terra Melos and he played in like Death Grips and a bunch of bands. But we were talking about like what would it take to get like Terra Melos, or he referenced the Locust, like to be in a McDonald's commercial, because they're gonna that like song or that piece is they're gonna get something to fill that spot. So like it might as well be you who's gonna be a rad person than some schlub that's just gonna fucking fart around and not make a thing, like
it's tough.
It
it's the
is.
same thing.
It
It's the
is.
same ethical shit. Like now I do think that the music industry as a whole is in a better place of like not immediately shaming somebody for like doing something for a commercial or whatever, because even like not even that long ago it was like if you did a whatever commercial, Apple, McDonald's, whatever, it was like you're fucking lame as hell. Why did you do that?
Well, Chumbawamba did that. They did a car commercial and everyone was like coming at them and they're like, oh, we're just gonna take all of this money and give this to this like environmentalist organization that were like looked at as like I might be wrong, but like they were looked at as like eco-terrorist, like that, like that term.
Chumbawamba was doing that?
Yeah. So they were like, we were, because Chumbawamba, like, I saw them at the Che Cafe. I grew up with like seeing that like as like a punk band, but then they like got massive.
Yeah.
And so they're like, okay, someone else is gonna be in that car commercial. We might as well take that money and fucking give it to the opposition. And they did that, and I think that move, for me, it gives it justification, like to the haters or the purist or like the left that want to shit on them, like whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's a righteous move. Like,
that's interesting. Yeah,
like whatever that amount of money is, like it would have been given to someone else, and then
Right.
that would have just went to like a yacht or whatever, and they're just like, no, we're taking that money and giving it right to the people that you're fucking over.
Yeah. That would be like, you're strategically taking that money out of the circulation, and it's still, if you're using it to enrich yourself, that's weird. It can be weird, but also it's just survival. So you're kind of, it's like, I don't know. It's the gray area. I think about that a lot. And I'm, nowhere near successful enough to like, warrant, I think, a true ethical question of any of this, but like,
But the fact that you're contemplating all this is massive, I think. I think that deserves attention. A lot of people don't even get to that point.
Yeah, well, it's funny because like I'll have conversations like this with like industry ass people, and they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Just go do your thing." Like, no one cares. Just like fucking do your thing. Like, there's not. And I see what they mean, but
like,
I don't know,
like no one cares that you're like pro-Palestine or like they're
just like do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Like, no, go get your money. Who the fuck cares?
Oh,
like,
sure.
Yeah, it's like you're playing the game. Like it's gonna be fucked up no matter what. Like just fucking do it. And maybe they're right to an extent, but it's hard to. Once again, it's another like gray area line in there. But I think I'm, now landing more. I'm like, maybe I'm a little too cautious even because there's a lot of like the unknowns of it. I am just like, oh, what if this bad thing happens, as opposed to just like doing it and then dealing with it later.
I think like the bad things, there's also a silver lining in it. Like, I'm trying to like put out this anthology of one of my old bands, and the record label won't like release it, and they've like they're in breach of contract, and I'm like, fuck these people. They're like, they have all this money, and it's a bunch of bullshit. The amount of money they gave us, we now owe them twice as much, and I'm like, how does that happen? Give me my fucking record back. It's been whatever. And so they sold like 2 million downloads on Apple of an album, of a song, and I'm like, 2 million copies is like, it's not streaming, it's 2 million like physical like digital downloads. downloads. You know,
Oh,
like
right, so
that's
the
a lot of
99
money.
cents, like,
yeah,
each one.
99
Oh,
cents.
shit, so,
and I'm like,
yeah.
wait, we only made $320. So anyhow, I want to like, they won't like reply to my emails anymore, like, because I keep being like, what the fuck, like, or I'm like jokingly like, what the fuck, like, let's get blah 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 on the horn, get this stupid fucking DJ owner on the horn. Let's figure this out. And they just keep fucking with me or ignoring me. So I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, let's just release it. And then when we get sued, then we're gonna go to town with like a PR campaign. And I think that like you can use that, like, you know,
Totally.
and not that I'm like fucking with like the oppressor, you know, but
Yeah.
I will fuck with the oppressor, and everyone
Yeah.
already knows that. But like, if I could if I can get a song in a Tesla commercial, then that's gonna be fucking sick, you know?
Right, that's funny.
Like you need to get in a
Yeah.
Tesla commercial, like sneak it in, like here we go, like they don't know it was like
Wow.
me that did that, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's hilarious. Yeah, me being in a Tesla commercial would be fucking hilarious.
And then when you get like
Yeah.
when you get reprimanded, just go to town on like a PR campaign on that and be like, I don't know, I feel like there's like a
Yeah.
way to spin things,
Right.
Because a lot of people just don't think it out, and not that it needs to come to a conclusion, but you're thinking it out, and that's like that says a lot. I you know, like a lot of people don't care, and that's with their internal decision. Like
Right.
I appreciate that, and across the board.
Hell yeah.
Okay, you know, and like I don't know,
Yeah.
like, you know, you referenced Universal, and I don't know like the conglomerates, like what their opposition is of certain politics, or what they can like implement on people for being active, you know.
Yeah.
And until we discover that, like I feel like we can test it, you know, like once you get, you know, I don't know, the slap on the wrist, or they like amputate your arm or whatever the fuck, you know, like whatever it is, like hypothetically, then you use that as like a PR stunt and bring
Right.
that even bigger. Kind of like how you were like, I need to take credit for the Tesla thing before someone else does.
Yeah.
And like you could have like had consequences. Fuck,
Right.
you could have been to, I don't know, you could have had like all kinds of shit happen.
Yeah, I mean,
but you were like, I got to do this, and then you roll with like what could come from that, because at the end of the day, like you're sticking to your guns, you're righteous, and your art is seen through to some extent. Like, yeah, you winged it, but like you have a moral compass, and you're on that route. And I think that at the end of the day, you can keep using whatever negativity that might come your way and use that to your benefit.
that's true. Yeah, for sure.
So then you were saying like you were like, I feel like I was a pussy, but I was like, maybe in certain elements, but like you're not, because you went ahead and like took that leap. Because I would be fucking scared that Tesla was gonna come after me.
Yeah,
you know, I'd be
yeah.
like, I'm gonna go to jail for something, or be sued, or whatever. You know.
Yep. Yeah. There was definitely, I definitely thought that there would be more consequences. But I think also because there were so many fires for them to put out, it was like the timing was...
But like it
Yeah.
still exists, like, and
Yeah.
they're going around like executing people now, you know, like they're like, oh, you're done. So like, I don't know, but there are still fires because there's like all the trucks are being recalled and shit's flying off of them and stuff. It's like they have a lot of problems, and like, you know, and like they're the net value of the stock is going, you know, losing like billions, like you know, it's just at some point they'll die, and then we'll be better off. But until then, we have to keep fucking with them. But whatever you're doing is really good. I think like I wish there was like your ability and your creative output. I wish there was like the other one. Like I would go after, you know, fucking Pete Hegseth or like whatever. Like pick another one and go for them. You know.
Yeah.
But I guess you went after like a corporation, so maybe there's a little bit of like space to get them, you know, like where you're like attacking a person, then they can be like, this is
right.
I'm gonna get you, because, like if you were going after Elon, but you were fucking with the company Tesla,
right, yeah, and it still technically would have been under parody, and there was like, I mean, there's so many, I could talk about this forever, but Elon was tweeting. Like while I was tweeting as Tesla, like Elon was changing the like parody rules on Twitter in order to like make sure that my Tesla account was banned. And he was like saying that it has to say parody in the display name.
Oh, so he was publicly saying this while you were doing it, so he
Yes.
had like record to kind of go and change it.
I think it was just like Elon doing his,
Yeah.
you know, he was probably on ketamine and like just like ranting, and he was
Trade
probably
it.
freaking out.
Yeah.
He was probably freaking out. But like changing the rules in real time, but then like so the rule was you have to have parody in your display name, but they also made it so if you're verified you can't change your display name. So basically he was guaranteeing that my account was banned. Which like I knew it was gonna get banned, but it was just funny that it was like real time, like Elon like changing his own rule in order to ban this stupid account.
I don't want to eclipse all of your stuff with the
Yeah.
Tesla thing,
Yeah,
but that thing was only up for 8 hours.
Yeah, it was like probably 7.5 hours, I think. Yeah,
The news cycle is crazy that that's what was picked up. Like, and it should have been.
Yeah.
It's hilarious, but like
Yeah.
there's like all of this. There's like wars and injustices going on, and they're like, let's talk about the guy fucking pranking him on a whim,
Yeah.
you know, or pranking it or whatever.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so funny. And I went to a
Did
wedding.
you sell your
like,
Tesla
pretty
after
soon
all
after
that? Or did you-
yeah, exactly. I was at
About a free one.
Yeah, we were at a wedding like a couple months after that, and one of my childhood friends works for Tesla corporate, and he was at the wedding, and it was so. But he thought it was funny.
Yeah.
But I was also like, don't don't tell anybody that you were with me, but like you might get in trouble.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, the Tesla shit was insane.
It's still I cannot wrap my head around it. And I mean, obviously, like when you're just a shithead and you just go and do all the things that he does, besides the actual car aspect, it like gets insane. You know, like it just like obviously he's like a racist or a white nationalist and Sikh Heiling, but he like didn't need to do that at all, and it just fucked his own business up. It's like he could have just. So he's doing like exactly what you're kind of the opposite side, but you're like, should I say the things and cause me these this like disgruntled fights or whatever? And he's kind of doing the thing. He's like, I'm fucking racist. I'm gonna show everyone, and then it's like, oh well, you're gonna lose like a shitload of followers or whatever. To him it's customers, I guess, because he's the sales are plummeting. But like, he fucked his whole thing up with like. In Europe, they're just like, oh, no more. We're not like gonna sell Teslas anymore. Like that shit's kind of gnarly. The positioning of that stuff is wild. But I wonder, like, because can you talk about the thing you're doing? I don't know if I'm mixing it up, but the person that you're gonna start working with, is that you're doing like a collaboration, like where you're both gonna be the singers? That's not the band that you're developing or the artist. Is that the artist?
No,
you're
it is.
Okay.
So it's this girl Chanel Jolet. From LA, trans girl rapper, super dope. And I've been developing her for a couple years just like as her solo thing, but then it just turned into like the songs where we were both like going back and forth. Like those were the most fun. Yeah. And it just turned into like, okay, wait, we should like do this as a duo and do like a pop group thing.
Also, like aesthetically, like just seeing the two of you speak on that one, it was like a clip for one of your shows, I think, and I was just like, you two are a lot different and a lot alike though too, because I was like, you guys are both like very like, you know, like I don't know, it was weird to like in a great way. I was like, this is such, and then when you mentioned them and said how you're going to do this collaboration, I was like, holy shit, how is that going to be perceived or marketed or whatever, all the things. But it's cool because I mean, maybe it's been done before, but like to me it looks like new territory. This could be bad or could be insanely good, you know, who knows. But I think, I mean, I'm just excited about the music in general, but also just like you're saying, the dynamic of the two of us is a really interesting juxtaposition, because we both have, I would say, complementary sort of chaotic energy a little bit, but we're also like kind of outwardly very different. Like I'm obviously, what's your sign?
Pisces.
Okay.
So I'm often perceived as like very quiet and reserved, but obviously, as we've discussed, there's this other side. But
I mean, you're like your vibe, your thing is like very like
very loud and crazy. Yeah, and Chanel is just a very intense and like infectious personality, and especially in like rap world, like there's no trans artists at all.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a couple, I think, but no one. There's definitely not been. I mean, there haven't been that many super successful trans people. Period.
Yeah.
But especially in hip hop at all. So, and I mean, our duo is her solo thing is gonna be more like hip hop focused.
Is it out already? Are any solo stuff out?
We're like in the process right now. This summer is when it'll be rolled out. And
can I just say one thing? Because I feel like that we're going back to like the bigger picture of like taking a risk or something. Because you like a few months back before the administration took power again, it seems like it would have been like this is a good time. Like everyone's like pro trans, like this, like everyone's coming up, and now it's like fucked again.
Yeah.
And I wonder if like doing it now then is like the right, because everyone keeps saying like now hardcore is going to be better, you know, and it's like, okay, I understand what they're saying, like in the 80s because of Reagan it was fucking great or whatever, but like would we rather have like mediocre hardcore and no Ronald Reagan? Yes. But you know what I'm saying, so like I don't want to say it like I'm positive or pro like what the fuck is going on now, but like now might be the time, like because there's the opposition and people are gonna latch onto that, like check this shit out, trans hip-hop artists, like that's a big deal right now. Especially in that demographic, you know, I think like you said, like and you know, hip-hop kind of isn't as like welcoming, I suppose, as like maybe pop music in general,
right. I mean, but even pop, like no one is that. It's like really fucking, it's crazy. But
any like sort of LGBTQ plus like vibe of a genre, like I mean, but we see it in country now and shit too. I'm like, that's crazy, like that's wild. Like you would expect it in punk and hip hop and some of the stuff that is like a little bit more musically challenging, I guess, you know, but in mainstream, I don't know, we need more of it, and so I'm psyched, and I hope that this time, as fucked up as it has recently kind of got back to being shitty for people, is the time. I hope it like destroys the oppressor, you know. Totally. I think that's what it's gonna do, because it's our job as artists to like set people straight, and you're gonna fucking do that. That's sick. Hopefully, you know.
I'm really excited, and I think you're right that because of like it already would have been polarizing anyway. It's just her existing as an artist is already gonna like make people mad, but now especially.
But making people mad is so interesting, because like you want to make them mad, but you also want to make other people like psyched. And then you also want to make some people confused and uncomfortable, which is you want to do something.
And I think the dynamics of the two of us as a group also makes it an interesting dynamic too, because it's like, okay, like crazy looking straight white guy, like the association of me like as the foil for her almost, I think is an interesting thing, like culturally, for people to it's like people I mean not that this is like a, you know, designed in a lab perfect thing that we thought out, but just realizing like it's an interesting dynamic that people who are maybe like not fully transphobic, but they're a little bit like, what's going on? Like the almost like getting an extra like little stamp of approval, like this is dope, like you can think this is cool, like you can fucking and not that she wouldn't be able to do that on her own, but it's just like it's an additional like, okay, there's a dynamic that's like maybe there's a little 1% extra familiarity going on, maybe there's an extra, it's like we're I don't know, we're bringing in a lot of different like cultural influences all at once.
So like, what about, maybe you have opinions on this, but like Andre 3000's like flute record, now he's doing like an opera one or whatever, and like I feel like he had to like, I hate to use this, like pay his dues or like come out super righteous with Outkast, and now he can go do all the weird avant-garde shit and be free. Where like I feel like maybe in hip hop or a lot of other genres where like you can't be expressive. That new record he put out, it's jazz, I think is what he called it. And he said it's the most hip hop thing, or I don't know like exactly what his. I was like, dude, I don't know what the fuck.
One?
No, he did a new one that's like jazz, but like it doesn't. To me, like I know a bit about jazz, but I was like, oh, what the fuck, you know? And I'm not gonna question him. I'm just gonna be like, yo, whatever he's doing, he's on something, and that's sick. And I'm glad that he's like able to be free and do whatever the hell he wants. Because the flute one was definitely confusing and a little hard to like wrap my head around. But like, good for it. Like, go for it. You know?
That's funny. The flute one, my fiance loves that.
Yeah.
She'll like listen to that all the time while doing your makeup and stuff. And I'm like, I mean, Andre is a legend and all that. And I feel like I enjoyed the first listen being like, oh, wow, this is really interesting. He's doing this. But like, I'm not going to like go back to it. But I mean, also that's like, I'm not really listening to jazz on my own anyway. But I think it's really interesting that that's what he felt safe to do artistically, because clearly he has spent decades, like he has for sure spent decades making several albums worth of other music that he just didn't put out. So for whatever reason, but I think mostly because he doesn't want to tarnish the legacy that he has created. And there's a lot of artists that are in that position too. I mean, even like Frank Ocean and people like that. Like once you get this air of like legacy artist, you don't want to touch that. It's like it's already in the museum. Like don't touch it. Like or Zach from Rage, like him, like he has definitely made. I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed. I'm sure it's been talked about, but like I know he's been doing a fuck ton of music for decades, but he's just not putting it out because.
Like One Day as a Lion was. I mean, I like Zach. I'm not a big fan of Rage's music, but One Day a Lion was like the shit. Like that band was sick, and then it just kind of didn't really do anything.
Yeah, I heard he was doing an album with LP too.
Oh shit!
Like a hip hop album.
Yeah, and it's kind of, I mean, separately from that, just that as an example of like him and Andre 3000, all these people, it's like there's an interesting almost conservatism that comes with like once you have established yourself as like someone that people like put on this pedestal of artistry, it almost seems like this just really fragile thing that's like
it's like tarnish
the
catalog.
It shouldn't be fragile because you have built something so strong and so many people love and respect you, but but how many examples have we seen of absolute legends that we would just be like, yo, we would listen to anything you fucking do.
Yeah.
We just want to hear it.
Yeah.
Fart in a mic.
But, anything.
Oh,
like,
that's like what's his name did that? Shit! Never mind. It's gone. I can't think of his name. He farted and it was great. Yeah.
There was a one of the Backstreet Boys songs. They like used a fart in the Max Martin like sampled one of their farts.
That's great
in a hit song too.
Really?
Yeah. One of I mean, in going back, as I was thinking about it, I was like, the exact opposite of this is Kanye, where you just fucking drive your shit right into the ground. So maybe there's a middle ground. To like,
I mean, the middle ground's probably like Metallica, where they like did that Lou Reed record or something. Like, just like, dude, just stop, you know. But but you would think, like, in theory, and I'm gonna say this to people listening to this, in theory, like Metallica being like, Lou Reed, let's do a record. That's almost like Andre being like, I'm gonna do a flute record. It's almost is like fucked up. But Andre, you're like, I guess because with Andre, you're just like, that guy's Andre, don't fuck with him. Like Metallica, you're kind of like, you got Lars, you guys are stupid, you know. So maybe it's already kind of shitty, you know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there are like inherent, like Andre doing a jazz album is not that far from the aesthetics of Outkast. Like there's like, I mean, it is obviously it's a totally different thing. It's an instrumental thing. There's no vocals, but like I feel like spiritually it's like that's, I mean, he's the same person, the same artist. Like people would, and how many songs did they have that would have jazz samples? Like it's there are parallels there, so it does make sense. But yeah, I mean, I wish he would put out other stuff too. We want to hear him, but he definitely does a lot of like features on other artists, like every once in a while.
So if he's listening, we're open.
Andre.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah,
give us a call.
Bring your flute.
Yeah, exactly.
But that would be a boss move too. You're like, we got Andre just playing flute, and everyone's like, what the fuck?
Totally,
like that's crazy shit too. Like we're just gonna like only feature him playing flute.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Jokes on someone. Yeah. Well, shit, man. I think we should probably wrap it here. This is killer. Like you as a person, as an artist, as a activist, like I appreciate you. Like you embrace it.
Thank you.
Yeah, like whatever you're doing. And I think that the fact that you're like having that internal dialogue is really, really important, and it speaks volumes, because a lot of people I don't think even get to that point. So it's rad.
Thank you.
And I fucking hope. What's the new project called? Is it?
It's called Plastic with 2 C's. Yeah.
What Plastic with 2 C's? I hope that shit goes massive. I hope it like is the thing. You know, I really do. Because you deserve it, and the world deserves crazy shit.
Thank you.
Crazy good shit.
Hell yeah. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Cool. Welcome back. This is the closing sequence of episode 53 of the Cult and Culture podcast. We appreciate you listening, watching. We appreciate all of our sponsors, all of our homies that have, that help us constantly. Dreamboat, like I said.
Andy, Becky. Did you
Ruinous. No, Ruinous.
Oak Cliff.
Yeah, Oak Cliff Film Fest. What's up? Yeah, we hope you enjoyed this episode. Check out all of our other ones. Support our podcast sponsors. Actually, let me bring one thing up. There's some crazy shit going on in America. Obviously, if you are under a rock or whatever, you don't know this, but there's like this tariff issue, and one of our sponsors, Earthquaker, is battling with going into bankruptcy because of the Trump administration's bullshit with tariffs. It's pretty fucking insane. We hate Trump. We hate the U.S. government, and pay attention to shit, because everyone's getting fucked by the billionaires. So there we go. Fuck you, Elon, and your other 300 and something friends that are way too rich.
Yep.
See you later.
Cult and Culture is a Ruinous Media podcast proudly sponsored by Earthquaker Devices, Heartwork Coffee, Diodario, Kindred, Smashed Plastic Record Pressing, and San Diego Food Shed.
Planet B.